Hi folks, this is Dr. Rob Cywes. I am the carb addiction doc, but I'm also a bariatric surgeon, an obesity or weight management surgeon. And we use surgery for weight management as well as for diabetes management, typically type 2. Today's conversation is going to be about failed bariatric surgeries. Folks, over 85% of weight loss surgeries, irrespective of what type they are, result in failure. Long term. Remember, if you take your current age and you determine at what age you would like to die, that's how long the effect of a successful surgery needs to last. And there are a couple of reasons why the surgeries fail. It's usually not actually, quite frankly, the surgery that fails, but they may. The first issue is that very, very few doctors, and this is a sad criticism of the people that work in my space, these are my colleagues, but very, very few of them actually understand, number one, why you got fat in the first place, and number two is what you need to do to keep the weight off. You see, obesity surgery is like a very powerful diet. It's incredibly effective at helping you to lose the weight, but it has really no role, except for starvation, if you can't eat, at keeping the weight off. So, as part of the discussion, I believe that it is only ethically right that your doctor understands and helps you to understand and begin to address why you gained the weight in the first place, why you became a type 2 diabetic in the first place. And most doctors right now don't understand carbohydrate addiction. There are videos on this channel for understanding that. But I'm a firm believer that every patient needs to be educated about the fact that by the time they come for bariatric surgery, they have a carbohydrate addiction. And if they do not address that, they will beat the surgery or die trying. So the first concept, and watch some of my other videos on that, is to understand why you gained the weight in the first place. And it is your job as a patient, as a person, to address that, because the surgery won't. The second thing to understand is the objective of the surgery. The objective of the surgery is to get you to lose weight. It is not to make you healthy. It's not to keep the weight off. The objective of the surgery, and it's a very powerful objective, and I love that. That's why I do the surgery, because that weight loss is critically important if you're not able to, or if you don't have the time left in your life to do this. So if you're 20 years old, of course, wrestle with it. But if you're 60 years old, have had cardiovascular disease and are a brittle diabetic, have the surgery, because it's the slope of the curve that matters. We'll come back to that in a second. But the purpose of the surgery is to lose weight. And there are two mechanisms by which it does that. And here's the confusing part. It does it through any form of intentional caloric reduction. And the first one is just to get you to eat less and less often. And the second mechanism is certain surgeries get you to poop out the calories, you don't absorb them. And the first one is great. But at some point, you have to eat enough to stay alive. So we want to see rapid weight loss and a leveling off. And the sleeve gastrectomy is great for that. But even the sleeve, the band used to do this. Both of them have a significant 85% weight regain problem after 5 years, because nobody helped you and you didn't help yourself to address your carbohydrate addiction. See, the surgery will help you with weight loss, but it'll change how much you eat, but it won't change what you eat or how often. And that's the marriage. And once you've beaten that system, you're not suddenly going to change. Once you've beaten the system, you're not suddenly going to change, folks. That's where a revision of your surgery helps to give you a second chance. But it has to be done on the backbone of addressing carbohydrate addiction. The surgery type that I really have an issue with is metabolic surgery, the surgery that gets you to poop out your calories. It's all good and well when it comes to macronutrient calories, but you're also pooping out vital nutrients. And chasing your tail becomes a problem. So even though you may be very skinny, Very few doctors check your blood work, check your C-peptide, check your insulin, check your micronutrient stores to make sure that you are nutritionally replete. You can measure obesity on the scale, you can measure weight recurrence on the scale, but if you've had bariatric surgery and you've gained back more than 10% of your weight, 10% of your weight, not very much, you also have malnutrition. Because if you can't eat a lot, and most of what you're eating is sugar and starch, you don't have enough space for healthy food. Now, there are complications that happen with surgery, but the course of surgery also changes. Once you've gone 2 or 3 years with your surgery, that's it. It's no longer going to work for you. You got what you got. And if you're malnourished, if you've gained your weight back, and you're prepared to work with us to address your carbohydrate addiction, we can definitely help you. We may be able to reuse that same surgery, getting you in a carbohydrate addiction program, or a large part of my practice is revisional surgery. A lot of doctors do revisional surgery doing the same thing over again, and you fail over again because you're more likely to fail a second surgery for weight regain than the first one if you don't understand carbohydrate addiction. But we see so many patients that have had duodenal switches that are metabolically challenged, that have had gastric bypass, that can't eat enough to stay healthy. And those are the folks that we love to reoperate on. We're very experienced, and we can help you not just from the carbohydrate addiction part, but also from the revisional surgery part. And we have patients coming to us from all over the United States of America for revisional bariatric surgery. And it's not just because you gain the weight back. It may also be because you're a metabolic train wreck. At least give us the opportunity to look at your blood work metabolically and see if there are deficiencies. So if you're interested, if you've struggled, if you've had bariatric surgery and you lost that weight and have regained it back, or you can't eat enough to keep your metabolism adequate, give us a shout. Or if you have other complications, obstruction, reflux, other complications from your surgery, give us a shout. We don't necessarily reoperate, but at least let us look into it and see where the problems are. Text 561-517-0642 and tell us what the issue is, and we can set up a consult. We do it online or we can do it in person. And we're working with patients all over the United States. I hope this gives you hope. I am the Carb Addiction Doc. I am a bariatric surgeon. Good luck.